So this is our big, broad topic, right? Ask a Canadian.
Here we go.
I have spent the week
Oh my goodness.
compiling questions, not only from me, the questions I have, because I have no shame and I'm willing to ask the questions, but also of viewers of the show. So,
Do you want me to start while you're pulling that up?
go ahead. You ask your first, because you've been collecting questions too.
Okay.
So I want first name. We're not going to name last names. First name.
Okay, this one came from Elena. What's with the Strategic Maple Syrup Reserve?
Yeah, I thought that was a joke when I heard about it, honestly.
Yeah, same. But I mean, whatever. We need to.
It's like OPEC for maple syrup. I mean,
77% of the world's maple syrup comes from Quebec. So a little fun factoid on it here.
Yeah.
So
And a whole big percentage of good guitars come from Quebec. I play Godin, and those are made in Canada. I should get.
But I wish I had a better answer.
yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's a head scratcher there.
So we don't know why there's a strategic reserve.
I was not alerted to the existence of a strategic maple syrup reserve until the robbery happened.
Wait,
Yeah.
somebody
Years ago.
stole maple syrup from the strategic
Yes.
Didn't it
reserve?
happen twice?
Was it
I
twice?
thought it's happened twice. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I think it happened twice.
Twice.
You would
Yeah.
think after
How
the
much
first time it'd
syrup?
increase
Like, are they
security.
taking like a ladle full?
No, like it's
No.
a good amount
Yeah,
of.
it was like a.
Yeah, it was a big news story in Canada.
Is there a black market for maple syrup?
Apparently, you know what? I think if you go to the Calgary Stampede this year, you're probably going to see some like shady underdealings for maple syrup. Because like last year, I read like 6 months ago at the Calgary Stampede last year, there was like 200,000 pancakes served. So I'm just saying, you're probably going to have somebody with like a trench coat out front of the Calgary Stampede. You need some maple syrup, man? I got you. 50% of what you need. Like,
It's pretty good. You keep going.
Okay.
And I'll do mine.
Okay. Do Canadians actually like Nickelback?
from Vancouver, and their label is 604, which is the area code for Vancouver. So for my people, for my city, yes. This is how you remind me of what I really am.
Oh.
Oh, all right. Wow.
If I wasn't from Vancouver, maybe not. I don't know.
So remember when I mentioned those Canadian content laws?
Yeah.
Like how a certain percentage of your airtime has to be Canadian?
Is that how Nickelback got started?
I am convinced that is the only reason that they became a hit was because it would satisfy Canadian content laws. So we have a difference of opinion here.
So, well, okay, I will say this. I've never been a huge Nickelback fan, but I do have friends back home that's like Nickelback is their favorite band.
Their favorite band.
Literally their favorite band.
They're
Wow.
like, Metallica? No.
No, but
Nickelback.
no. Let me rewind that tape. Actually, it's really funny because I was just about to mention Metallica because I actually have a great deal of respect for Nickelback now because on all of their on a lot of their tours they cover Metallica
Oh,
and
yeah.
they do it justice. Actually, I
You
was
know who else
surprised.
covers Metallica? The Jazz Destroyers. So,
Yeah. But he's also the lead singer. What's his Chad Kroger?
Kroger.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Chad Kroger. He is married to Avril Lavigne. So.
Didn't they break up?
yes, they got divorced.
I thought they broke up.
Oh man, I am so.
I got
out of the
divorced.
loop.
Yeah.
See, that's how you know Nickelback is.
They
not
got
my favorite
divorced.
band.
Wishful thinking. No. When that happened,
you're
I was
part
like,
of mine.
I was like, oh, there's a
She got
chance
divorced
again.
from the guy from Sum 41, but
Right, and
yeah.
then they got married, but then I thought they got divorced.
I
I
think
could
they
be
got-
wrong.
Right. Okay,
I
we
could
need
be
I
to
wrong.
fact.
remember
This is another
Avril
thing to
Lavigne
fact
being
check.
back
I
on
thought
the
they were
market.
separated.
Yeah.
I thought they were
Least.
still together, so we need to do a little fact checking here. And if so,
In the comments, leave a
yeah.
comment. Is
Yeah.
Avril
If
Lavigne
they're
still
still
on the
together,
market?
then good for you.
Yeah,
But we shouldn't call it being on the market. That's a
But
little
in all
sexist.
honesty,
Little bit.
Nickelback is kind of a joke back home too. So
Okay.
I don't know. They obviously have a fan base, so
They have a
Yeah.
fan base. Somebody
Yes.
likes it.
they're
those-
good like one or two songs, but after you heard like 10 of them, they also
Those are
sound the
usually
same.
the guys with like shaved heads and goatees. So, all right, what's your
Okay.
next question?
The other one's kind of a follow-up.
Okay.
Follow up. Go back question.
Kind of. What percentage of your record collection is made up of Nickelback, Rush, Our Lady Peace, Alanis Morissette, Celine Dion, Tragically Hip, and Bare Naked Ladies albums?
Oh, I can't believe I should have shouted out to Our Lady Peace
Yeah.
during the little Canadian part there. Yeah.
Man.
Sorry, let me interrupt real quick. So, to circle to Our Lady Peace, I haven't thought about them in quite some time.
Right.
But last night at the Texas Stars, Our Lady Peace came on, and I was like, everybody! Our Lady Peace! Yeah. So I was like, they're a great Canadian band. So literally got played at the Cedar Park Center in Texas.
That is hilarious.
So I was like, all right, this is perfect. So sorry. I didn't
No, you're really sharpening it up. Yeah. Okay. I will admit to, at one time or another, I won't say, I don't know if I still own any Our Lady Peace albums. I think no, but
Somebody's
got
to jog my memory. What's the big hit?
Starseed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our Lady Peace is a great band as well. So like Billy Talent, check them out.
Yeah, they're definitely like, this is a 90s like
Yeah.
throwback band to check out.
He's got a unique voice.
Yeah. I definitely have a bunch of Tragically Hip albums.
Who are the other ones? Bare
Who are the
Naked
other
Ladies?
Bare Naked Ladies, Alanis Morissette, Celine Dion, Rush, and Nickelback.
And Cactus. I'm
Oh,
adding
and Tragically
Cactus.
Hip, of course.
Yeah.
So,
Do you own any
So-
Cactus?
I don't actually
No.
at all.
I
will
no
say,
Canadian seems to know about Cactus, but Anvil, do you guys know about Anvil?
Yeah, I know about Anvil.
Right. So Anvil, the one drummer, or the drummer,
mhm.
they told this whole story. He was really into Cactus. And I'm like, I've never heard Cactus. So somebody
have
leave
you
a
heard of
comment.
Cactus?
Show me some
Me
good.
neither. Yeah,
Show me
I've
Cactus's greatest hits.
never heard of Cactus. I will say on the list of the original questions before we
Yeah.
tagged on Tragically Hip to that, I've never been a huge Bare Naked Ladies fan. I mean, they're mediocre in my
They
opinion.
got a couple songs.
So yeah, so I've never really cared much about them. Of that, I would kind of like write off almost every band on there, really, because I mean, Alanis Morissette, all that stuff. I'm kind of like, I can take it or leave it, with the exception of Our Lady Peace. That's the one that I was like, hey, that's actually a good band. So if
Okay.
that's and Rush is probably considered a good band as well. It's just, yeah.
Do you know the story
Yeah.
about Jagged Little Pill? Jagged Little Pill was recorded in audio. It's this like mythological thing because it was recorded to ADAT, which was before computers, but just before, and they were digital tapes, and they were awful. And it was recorded in a home studio. Now, granted, it was recorded with $150,000 worth of gear, but it was recorded in a home studio except for the drums. So, like, all the audio guys are like, Jagged Little Pill, good example of a home studio making a really great album.
Yeah,
that's cool. I didn't
I
know
can't
that.
speak to that, but I will say that I actually listened to Jagged Little Pill in its entirety
Yeah?
recently, and had not done that for
It's great. It's
holds up.
It really does.
It's a good album.
Yeah, I haven't
Flea's
listened
bass
to the
playing on
album.
that is so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that. I haven't listened to the whole album recently, but I did. I don't know, 7 or 8 months ago, I was showing someone a lot of Canadian content in which, obviously Alanis Morissette got brought up, and I watched a couple of YouTube videos of her from it, Jagged Little Pill, and it does still hold up pretty
Yeah.
good. It's just not a particular album that I'm hugely fond of or anything like that. Our Lady Peace is the only one that I'm like, you know what, I should have that in my car. Why don't I?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Our Lady Peace. Alanis Morissette, and of course the hip.
yeah.
Fair enough. So
enough.
that, what percentage of that is your record collection?
Oh.
Of those
okay.
bands, yeah.
Half?
Are we talking about physical?
No,
Like-
I'm
Or
talking
just in
about
general,
physical
music
iTunes, however you consume music. Your Spotify playlist. Spotify's awful. Don't get Spotify.
I don't know.
Okay, so I am very, I have varied music taste, but I tend to listen to the same bands heavily. So
Okay.
the bands that I listed earlier are primarily on rotation. In that rotation is also the Tragically Hip. So of the music that I listen to on a regular basis, the Tragically Hip occupies, I would say, up to 20-25% of that, because I tend to listen to very few bands quite often, and they are one of them. Oh, another shout out to Morphine. I told you about that. I don't care. I'm dropping bands that nobody
There you go.
listens to and nobody's heard of, and they're dead.
And
they're not
and-
competition anymore.
And
so
we're
don't
gonna
worry.
we're gonna go through on the clips and we're gonna put the comments in with all the links. So
Yeah,
we got
but so I would say Tragically Hip occupies quite a bit. Billy Talent, probably maybe 5% or so. Our Lady Peace will probably jump up to 10 or 15 in the next little while, since I've now been reminded of them, and then fall back to 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say probably like a similar. I listen to the Tragically Hip a lot. I got some Joel Plaskett mixed in there.
Oh, nice! Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but I would say
Yeah.
Tragically Hip's maybe like
Hey, good looking.
Yeah.
It's great.
Check out Joel Plaskett.
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, maybe like 10% Tragically Hip, and then the others I have are not in regular rotation, but should be.
So I'm hearing yes.
And Nickelback's like 80%, I think. Is
That's
that
it.
fair?
I'm hearing that 80%. I'm guesstimating 80% of your record collection are Canadian bands.
No.
No.
Murder by Death would be from Indianapolis. Cherry Pop and Dies are from Oregon. Rev's from Texas.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. I do listen to some quite a bit of Canadian content, and anytime a Canadian band comes up, at least from like the 90s to like mid 2000s, I'm bound to at least recognize them
Yeah.
because of the Canadian content laws, right? So,
Just like rubbing sparkles.
Oh my gosh, do you remember the Tea Party?
The Tea Party, yeah! I talked about them about 7 or 8 months ago during
Yeah.
that thing. That does not hold up well,
No,
in my opinion.
not at all.
Like, because when I was going through, like, showing all the Canadian stuff, I brought up the Tea Party, and I was like, oh, I remember this being a lot better than it
Like,
is.
these were hits. and
Yeah, like, oh,
Don't
no.
understand why.
So-
So don't check out the Tea Party.
Yeah, don't
There we go.
worry
That's
about
an
that.
anti-shout out. All right, is that the rest of your
Yeah,
questions?
that's my questions.
So these are the questions I've compiled. Cole wants to know, why are they called Mounties?
The Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Yeah,
Right.
mounted police, so,
We
Where's
like
it?
to, shorten things. So the Royal Canadian Mounted Police are the Mounties. The $1 coin is a
Loony,
loony because
and
there's
a
a loon
toonie.
on it, and the $2 coin is a toonie because it rhymes with loony.
and it's 2.
Got it. But the Canadian Royal Mounted Police, is that the only police in Canada?
No.
So who are the Canadian Royal Mounted Police?
They're like a federal.
Yeah, they'd be
They're
like...
the equivalent of the
They'd be
FBI.
over... No.
Nah.
They'd be, like, they are the overarching, like, police force, but then cities can have their own, like, there's, like, the
So
VPD.
provinces don't have police forces, city and Mounties?
Some provinces do. There's the Ontario Provincial Police. I don't know if
I
other
know,
provinces have.
I don't know of
The
a
OPP.
provincial-
Yeah, you know me. Sorry.
I don't know if BC does or not. I know VPD has it, but I don't. I
Yeah.
think outside of that, it is like Mounties and stuff.
But so, like,
But
if
they
you get
don't
pulled
often-
over on the highway, it's a Mountie pulling you over?
yeah, but well,
Well, it depends where you are.
it depends on where you are, but it's also not. For starters, you're not getting pulled over by somebody on horseback, and
Yeah.
secondly, the person coming up to your window isn't like dressed in reds.
Right.
Have you ever seen like Due North or Due South?
Due
Sorry,
South. Yeah.
No.
So,
Oh.
it's a great show.
Great show.
Great
Okay.
show. But it's about a Mountie in Chicago. But he always has his dress reds on, but that's not typical of it. But that's a great show.
So they have different uniforms than what we're thinking of when we think of these.
You're
guys
thinking
on
of
horseback.
like the formal.
Dudley Do-Right.
Yeah, you're thinking like the dress
the-
reds,
yeah.
right? So like the
For the musical ride.
So when there's like a formal event, that's what they're gonna wear. Just like like military has their dress uniforms and stuff, right? And think Star Trek, the Starfleet dress, uniforms.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. And as a follow-up, Jared wants to know, have you ever wanted to mount a Mountie?
Who says I haven't?
Hey. Cole also wants to know, is hockey as preponderant as reputed? So is hockey as... Like, we think of hockey as being Canadian. Like, football is to America as hockey is to Canada? Or is hockey not as big of a sport as, like, football is in America? And I'm using football because we're in Texas, but, like, in other parts of the country, it's not. Well, football's huge everywhere. Yeah, you're gonna say yes.
I was at a hockey game last night, and I'm in Texas. I'm going to a hockey game tonight.
Is it just
I've
so you
been
can
wearing
be near
hockey
ice?
jerseys, so I can be near ice.
Is it just so you
Yeah.
can be near the cold?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I would say that at least my experience would be yes, and I would say it's even more so. I would say hockey is to Canadians what football is to Texans.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
outside of America, like outside of Texas, football, I mean, it has its pockets, but it's not culturally like ingrained into the American identity. Whereas hockey, by and large, is
Yeah.
Isn't the national sport though curling?
Lacrosse.
lacrosse.
The national
Although
sport of
hockey
Canada
is
is
now
lacrosse,
too, isn't it? I thought hockey and lacrosse
It may
are now.
be-
I think
maybe
it's both
hockey and
now.
lacrosse.
or is the
but
national
lacrosse is.
pastime curling? Curling is one of the national things.
Curling is a lot of fun.
It's
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, lacrosse has been the official.
but you're not a huge hockey person.
I'm not a huge hockey person, but I don't like the cold.
Yeah.
So, but like I watch the playoffs. I watch the NHL playoffs.
Yeah.
I'll watch Olympic hockey is
Olympic
entertaining.
hockey is awesome.
It's always fun as a Canadian to watch Olympic hockey.
Oh, it's always nice to win.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I
Right.
would say that she's a little atypical in my experience.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest with you, because I think that that most Canadians do have at least a passing interest in hockey in terms of like follow it not just during the playoffs, but have a team and they kind of at least know where that team's doing. So especially in Canada, and it's easy to do because Tim Hortons and stuff always does like special promotions
Right.
and whatnot, right? And since
But-
that's also
I'm also from Toronto, so I mean the Leafs haven't won.
since '67,
Yeah.
something like that?
So like
Yeah.
not in my lifetime have the Leafs won a Stanley Cup.
What does that say?
I don't know.
Is it still recording?
I can't tell.
Go look.
I'm gonna go with no. I think the
No.
battery just died.
Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I charged it. Welcome to the train wreck, everybody. This happens just about every show. Here, go plug that in.
It should reach, so you should be able to leave that plugged in.
Okay.
But like,
So
did you
leave-
play hockey as a
It's-
kid?
Why don't you
Grow up
leave
playing
that
hockey?
plugged in?
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so
casually.
Mhm.
So no, like I wasn't like,
But watching hockey was a thing.
yeah, watching hockey was a thing, and at least in my high school, it was like super important. Like everybody was into hockey. So like,
Alright, close the
if you
screen
didn't
and
know
open
like how the Canucks had done the previous night,
Yeah.
like you wouldn't have anything to talk to.
Oh,
About,
you're not
you know,
plugged
you'd be
in.
like a social outcast, which I was already okay with because I was a theater kid.
Where'd that go?
So, so,
Take
so
that plug back.
but even still, to a certain degree, I at least wanted to know what was going on. But the
Yeah.
Kings have always been my team, and kind of like yourself, how you talked
There you
about rooting for the underdog.
Yeah.
The Kings really sucked for a long time. So it's only lately.
Then they
that,
got the
you know-
great one. Oh wait,
No,
they
no,
didn't.
no.
They never won anyone with a great one.
No, they didn't. They made it to the Stanley Cup Finals in '93, lost to Montreal, which
Okay.
also happens to be the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I charged that. by
And
the way.
then went into a slew
I'm
of
sure.
really
I think we
terrible
just need
years.
to
And
leave
it's
them
only the
plugged
last
in
few
before
years that it's been like,
3:30.
oh my god, finally it's paying off.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Okay, we're gonna do the lightning round on the rest of these.
Yes.
What is the staple food? Cheeseburger is to the USA as blank is to Canada. That was a question from Cole.
I don't know.
Tim Hortons.
Well, I mean, I will say that there are more donut shops per capita
Yeah,
in
that's
Canada than there are anywhere else in the world.
So donuts.
I mean, if you judge it by that, there's more donut shops than anywhere else, so per person. So I guess kind of maybe. Oh, but probably Kraft Dinner, KD.
Yes, Katie.
Yeah, probably
KD.
Kraft Dinner, because Kraft Dinner is like the most sold product in Canadian grocery
Yeah.
stores. So
Kraft Dinner is what? Kraft mac and cheese.
yeah, mac and
Yeah.
cheese.
It doesn't matter what brand of macaroni and cheese you buy, it's
It's
Kraft Dinner.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if it's Western Family or not.
Yeah.
Steven wants to know what's up with the Beavers.
What
So
do you got
proud
against
and no.
beavers?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure Steven likes beavers, but the
Proud and noble animal.
Yep.
a
Foundation
proud
of
and-
our early economy.
Yeah.
the
for trapping.
national animal,
You
right?
can still sell beaver pelts.
Yep.
For money.
Mhm.
But we have currency too. Don't worry.
But yeah, the beavers on the nickel. They're industrious and
As are all Canadians.
I will say that the two main animals associated with Canada, beavers and moose, both are like vicious and will mess you up. You look at them and you're like, oh, it's like, it's just beaver's just a rodent and
Yeah.
a moose just is kind of hanging out there. No,
Nope.
they will both mess you
also
up.
Canada geese. They will fuck you up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Well, now we can't monetize that. Canadian geese are jerks. Because I grew up in New York, we had Canadian geese constantly. You would start giving them bread, I could get them to eat out of my hand, but then when you ran out of bread,
eat
you
your
better
hand.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they were jerks. Okay.
And I'm sure they make delicious hot dogs too.
So, Christine wants to know, how do you differentiate between Canadian bacon, regular bacon, and ham?
So, oh, sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
So Canadian bacon back home, and I don't know if you have this, is called back bacon.
It's called back bacon.
Yeah. So
I think that was another question, so good. Okay.
So yeah, so it's not called Canadian bacon; it's called back bacon, and it's not, I don't know, as cured, I guess maybe as ham, so it's not quite as salty.
Okay.
It's more thinly sliced, and it comes from a different part of the pig, so it just naturally tastes different. And so it's much more in line with ham than it would be bacon.
Okay.
But so I mean, it's easy to differentiate bacon. Bacon's bacon.
Bacon's bacon.
Bacon's
Yeah.
bacon.
But
It's delicious. There's a restaurant in Austin called Bacon.
It closed.
What?
Yeah.
When?
A couple weeks ago.
oh man,
They think they may reopen it in another space in the
Hopefully.
future.
They should open it in Manor. Let's make this happen.
Yes.
Start a letter writing campaign. I want bacon in Manor.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, is it called back bacon where you're from?
I
too?
was gonna say that I've seen like pea meal bacon, which is like sort of like ham with like cornmeal
Mhm,
on
mhm.
it. But people always ask me that. I don't know.
I don't really like pea meal bacon. Do you?
Yeah, no, not really.
Yeah. So,
Bacon is bacon.
yeah.
Eat
Gotcha.
the same bacon you eat. It's,
And I mean, like, you guys are all familiar with Canadian bacon. It's like back bacon. It's
Yeah.
on all your eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and all of the McMuffins has
Yeah.
Canadian
Yeah.
bacon. Okay, so I want to know, when was the last time Canada invaded America other than Justin Bieber?
well, we burned down the White House during the War of
1812.
1812.
That's why it is
1812.
the White House. You guys
Yeah.
whitewashed it to hide the damage.
By the way,
You're welcome.
Canada wasn't a country in 1812. It was a British colony. So I think my friends in the UK will disagree
Well,
on
look,
who
we
did
came
it.
from Upper Canada,
That's right.
and
So-
we messed up the presidential.
And technically, we also won that war.
Yes.
Technically, because you define a war being won by did you reach your objective? You guys intended to, conquer us, and we intended to stop you. And
That is not the story we're told in American
Well,
schools.
it's funny because that's also not the story that we're told in Canadian schools. In Canada, we're taught that no one won the War of 1812, which is a very Canadian way of
Yeah.
looking at it.
'cause
But
we're
really,
What I was told was that it was after, because 1776 we declared our independence from the British, and then in 1812 the British attempted to retake it. That's what I was taught in school.
yeah, so yeah, right. The War of 1812 was really Canada trying to come down here and take over the
We
U.S.
got the
That's
good stuff.
not the
I
maple
don't
syrup.
know. I'm just. Hey, Vermont maple syrup is wonderful.
70% of all world's maple syrup come from Quebec,
Well-
not
Yes.
Vermont. Drop the mic.
Well, 100% of the best.
Nobody's
maple
stealing your maple syrup reserves,
yeah,
are
really.
they? Vermont's nice and safe, aren't they?
100% of the best maple syrup comes from America.
Uh-huh.
All right.
America.
What's the difference between Bryan Adams and Ryan Adams? I want to know.
Oh, the summer of '69.
Yeah.
Bryan
Okay.
Yeah. Ryan Adams recently
different people.
recently did cover Summer of '69
Oh,
though.
jeez, so
after
just
like
screwing the search.
years
the
and
search
years
up
and
even
years.
more. Because you're like, wait, was it Bryan Adams or Ryan Adams who did Summer of '69? Google, you tell me, and then you got both of them doing it now.
That's
Great.
why. Yeah, that's why. Brian.
Yeah.
Great. Let that song die. All right. Like that, history will forget that song because of that. When was the last we did that one? Do teenage boys in high school make up imaginary American girlfriends?
Or college. Remember, we had some in college.
Yes, that.
Down here.
I didn't know
That
was
is
a
me,
thing
I
down
wanna
here
know.
either until I saw Inside Out, and they were talking about the imaginary Canadian boyfriend, and I was like, and everyone was killing themselves laughing, and I was like, wait, is this a?
Oh, it's a thing.
That's
Yeah.
It's
Well,
absolute.
thing.
I'm pretty sure every kid that is just not quite cool, at some point, being lovesick and not having a partner, they go, yeah, no, I got a girlfriend. She's in Canada. You never met her. It's totally.
Well, being that Canadian women are rather amazing, I don't blame American boys for saying that. But I don't recall any of my friends ever.
all women are amazing.
All women are amazing, yes, but that goes without saying. I just happen to have to speak on behalf of.
It's
my
because your
country.
mom is Canadian. You're biased. All right.
But I will say that that I don't recall any of my friends saying that they had American girlfriends or
it's-
boyfriends
It's
down
not
south.
anything I've ever heard.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I do remember some of them making up like Latin boyfriends and girlfriends. Like,
Really?
from like South America. Just
Really?
I think they just wanted to be exotic. I mean, maybe they existed.
No,
but
no,
I never saw
that was what we were doing too. Oh, they're Canadian. That was exotic. Yeah. So I guess they're Latin. So that's the equivalent. All right. Would you, if you're faced with a choice, either you have to give up beer and hockey for the rest of your life or die immediately. Which do you do? James. Jonathan Raymer wants to know. Jonathan Raymer wants to know. Choice between instant death and you can't drink beer or watch hockey anymore. Which do you choose?
Well, I'd obviously still live.
So they love hockey,
Like,
but not
we
not
have
not
good
like
Canadian
not
whiskey
like American
too, so
it's
South
okay,
freedom.
yeah.
Award-winning whiskey.
Yeah, we've got award-winning whiskey, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And
I prefer
lacrosse.
Plus CFL
Yeah, CFL, exactly. So I'm still good. I'll just switch to whiskey and watch the
And curling.
Football League.
and curling.
And curling.
Curling. I mean, don't you have to basically drink when you're curling?
Well, that's the only real way to finish a game.
Yeah.
All right, I got 3 more. We're gonna do these quick. Just yes, no. Ready? Tea or coffee?
Well, that's not a yes or no.
Both.
Both? Tea or coffee?
Yes.
Okay.
Coffee.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
See, and I'm a coffee guy. I don't understand these tea.
Coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoon.
Okay.
I agree.
Coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay. I just drink coffee. All right. Labatt's or Molson?
Ugh.
And then my last question, is there any Canadian beer that doesn't taste like moose piss?
I used to like Alexander Keith's.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. There's a lot of local.
Yeah,
good
local
stuff.
stuff is better.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. All right. So that's our Ask a Canadian. We got one more section.